Speech off.
Hello, my name is Sienna. I have septo-optic dysplasia, which is a brain condition that caused me to be born totally blind. It also caused me to be on the autism spectrum. And I also have complex PTSD. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the things you shouldn't say to a blind person. In my case, a totally blind person. Now, this isn't a rant video. This is not a video pointing the finger at anybody. And also, some of these things I know people mean well when they say, and some of these things you just shouldn't say at all. So the things that some people mean well when they say, don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. You know, you may have said it and it's, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So don't get offended about it. So I'm going to go ahead and just start. So the first and foremost, the thing you shouldn't say to a blind person is you don't look blind. And this was kind of an interesting thing for me when I first heard it, because I've heard people say to other people, you don't look this way, you don't look that way, you don't look like you have ADHD, you don't look disabled, stuff like that. But when I heard you don't look blind, that was kind of an interesting thing. And I've heard other people talk about it, and now I realize it's probably not the best thing to say. Another thing you shouldn't say to a blind person is, I am so sorry. I'm sorry you're blind. I wish you could get your vision back. Well, I was born this way. And there is no cure. There is no cure for my brain condition. And it's just something I have to live with. It's something I'm okay with living with. And I personally don't want to be cured. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't want to be cured because I'm living the best life that I can possibly live. Another thing you shouldn't say is, I've had this quite a bit. So I may be out with my staff and someone will look at them and tell them, I'm really glad you can, or like, they'll say, I'm proud of you for helping her. I'm just not sure if she's very capable of getting out and doing things. And I'm just like, first off, you can talk to me. Second off, I am capable. Like, it almost sounds like you're saying that I am a burden on society and that my worth is less because I'm blind. No, my worth is not less. I personally don't think I'm a burden on society, and to the people who think I'm a burden on society, well, that's their problem. It's not mine. It's really not. Another thing you really shouldn't say to a blind person is, you can help if you run into things. You just need to pay attention more. You can control it. I've had this said actually by a family member, and I have to say it didn't really feel very validating. Yes, I may run into things, but don't scold me for it. And another thing, don't laugh at me for running into things. That's another thing you really shouldn't do, is don't laugh at a blind person for running into things. It's not okay. Another thing is, why do you keep asking questions about this object? It's just an object. There was one time I was watching Wheel of Fortune and someone landed on one of the wedges, and I asked how big the wedge was. What did it look like? And my family member, a person in my family, goes, why do you keep asking questions about the stupid wedge? because I can't see. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how big it is or anything like that. So we just want to know what things look like. It's fine. Another thing that you really shouldn't say to a blind person is, you're just using blindness as an excuse for bad behavior, or you're just using blindness as an excuse to not want to get a job. I've had the whole you're just using blindness as an excuse for certain things. For the bad behavior part, so being that I'm blind, I like to have things arranged in a certain way. Like, I like to have my objects arranged in a certain way. And if I can't find an object, I get a little frazzled about that. I get a little frustrated about that. So, I'll be like, where in the world is it? Like, where the hell is that thing? Like, I better freaking find it. And I don't remember anyone saying it, but I could see someone saying it. You're just using blindness as an excuse for bad behavior. And it's basically like the things I say when it comes to, like, when I'm frustrated about it, because, I want my things a certain way. I like to have my objects in a certain way. And if they're moved, or if I do misplace them, I do get very frustrated. And sometimes I do act a little irrational. I won't lie. It is true. I do act a little irrational sometimes. And that is something I'm working on. Now, the whole thing with using blindness as an excuse to not want to get a job, I think is just BS, because there's not a lot of resources and a lot of jobs that really are experienced with blind people. And in some ways, I'm somewhat okay with that. It's not that we're lazy. It's not that we're unmotivated. It's not that it's nothing like that. We do our best, and some people are employed. And to the ones that are employed, good for you. You are amazing. And to the blind people that aren't employed, you're still amazing. Your worth doesn't change just because you aren't employed. You know what? I'm a musician, for heaven's sakes, and I want that to be my job. That's really what I want. Another thing I want as a job is to keep advocating for myself, to keep spreading awareness for myself. And I think for me, that's good enough. So really, don't say that stuff. And another thing, this is probably the last thing I'm going to cover for today's video. Just because you're blind doesn't mean you get special treatment. First and foremost, I do not want special treatment. I do not want to be pitied, because it kind of annoys me when people pity me, because in my opinion, I'm just like everyone else. I do things a little bit differently, but hey, I'm just like everyone else in this world. I can learn to cook. I know how to do my own laundry. I can bathe myself. I mean, it may take me a long time just to maybe find something, but I'm not asking for special treatment. I don't want special treatment. I want to be treated like everybody else. So those are some of my things that you shouldn't say to a blind person. Comment down below some of the things you feel like aren't really good to say or even do to a blind person. And comment down below if you can relate to this topic, or even if you can't relate to this topic. It is totally okay. Comment down below if you can or can't relate to this topic. I'm happy with all the people that have commented on my videos, that have subscribed to my channel, and you guys are amazing. And I'm planning to keep putting myself out there and to keep going in life because, you know, why stop? What's the use of isolating myself? So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.